Good evening. I'm Marcia Hampton, City Manager for the City of Douglasville. Welcome to this year's Flag Day event. And I will tell you, it's a great honor to see so many folks here, not only for Flag Day, but for the groundbreaking of the Honor Garden Memorial groundbreaking. So, and it's great that we were able to combine these events because for years I helped the city do the Flag Day event, and it was a struggle to get people there. So we kind of questioned whether or not do we want to continue to do this. But this shows that not only are folks interested in honoring those who have served in the military, but they do value in wanting to protect and honor our flag. So with that, the person I will introduce is Mr. Gary McManus, Douglas County Chaplain. He will do the invocation for us.
Uncover, please.
Thank you, Marcy. This is a very special occasion, and before we pray, I'd like to do two things. One is commend all of you, especially the leader of this group, for this occasion. I know a lot of hard work has gone into it, and it's very special and it's very appropriate, and we thank God for the opportunity to be here and to recognize our military people who have served so faithfully over the years, and those who gave all that they gave. Second thing is I want to ask you, if you would, to continue to pray for our nation, as well as the nation of Israel. And I'm not here to preach. I'm just here to invite us to continue to pray for our land, that we might continue to have the freedom that we've enjoyed all these years. With that, let us stand and we will pray. Heavenly Father, how could we ever thank you enough for the blessings that you have poured out on our land? For over 238 years, you have shown favor year after year, day after day. And we thank you for that. We thank you for your presence here today. We honor you, and we come to honor those who gave all that they had to give for our freedom. And we thank you for those that have worked so diligently up to this point, and we are believing with them in faith that this memorial will will be in a place, and it will be a time of honor and praise and worship to you, as well as honoring those who have given so much. We thank you, Lord, that you are able to do more than we ask or think, and that you will meet all the needs that the committee will have to bring this to fruition. And we thank you that you will meet all of our needs according to your riches and glory. And we give you glory, praise, and honor. We thank you for all who have gathered here today and the role that they have played in the fruition of this occasion. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
Thank you so much, Mr. McManus. And before I introduce the mayor, I do want to say on behalf of the city of Douglasville, thanks to Chan Weeks and her leadership with the city is through Keep Douglasville Beautiful, and leading not only several city staff members, but also a group of volunteers who have been very instrumental in putting this event on today. So I want to thank her and thank all of the volunteers who have been participatory in bringing today to fruition. Mayor Robinson.
Good evening. Thank you so much. Our city manager, Ms. Marcia Hampton, who is a Navy veteran. We thank you for your service. And I would ask that all the elected officials please stand. We appreciate you coming out. City council members and state representatives, thank you. Let's give them a hand, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I would ask the chairman of the county commission, Mr. Tom Worthan, to come and just say hello and welcome us. You know, the city is in the county. You know that, so we want him to say hello to us.
Thank you, Mayor. And yes, the city is in the county, and you recognize that, and I appreciate that so much. I'm glad to see all of you here for this wonderful occasion. It's great to be with you, and I look forward to what we're going to who we're going to honor tonight and what we're going to honor tonight. But thank you for having me, Mayor. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Did I see my former mayor, Mr. Camp, here? Could you just wave your hand, Mr. Charlie Camp? Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Camp. And I would just briefly say, the chairman, we celebrated 50 years in this country for Vietnam veterans, and he served in Vietnam, and I served in the Army National Guard, so I'm very proud of the flag. And my brief welcome and comments to you this evening is that I know traditionally people think about the 4th of July when they think about the flag. That's where we see flags all over the place for the 4th of July. But a school teacher in Wisconsin named D.J. Saragin in 1885 thought about honoring the flag. And so he brought that forth, and government moves very slow. And so it had taken all the way until Woodrow Wilson, President Woodrow Wilson, wanted to honor the flag. And so he put that forth, and it was not affirmed until President Harry Truman in 1949. He decided that the flag should have a National Flag Day, and he made that day June 14th. And by the act of Congress, they passed it. And ever since then, we have honored our flag. I cannot sit still or not come to tears being a veteran and having my dad served and all of my uncles and cousins still in the military, my nieces in the Navy on the George aircraft carrier, that I move to tears and pride when I see the flag. And so I love our country and love this flag, and I'm so excited that we're here to celebrate Flag Day today. Thank you everyone for coming out. Welcome to the city of Douglasville and to our beautiful Hunter Park, and to Chan Weeks and everyone from Keep Douglasville Beautiful and the groundbreaking ceremony that we're going to have. I will walk by that Army plaque with lots of pride. So thank you again for coming and welcome. Thanks for your attendance.
Thank you again. And at this time, we will have the presentation of our colors by the American Legion 5th District Honor Guard.
And by the way, not only is it Flag Day, it's happy birthday to the U.S. Army. 241 years. Host the colors. Please stand and remain standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, the cantor from St. Julian's Church, Mr. Rick Parker, will be here to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Right, face. Forward, march.
Let's give Mr. Parker another round of applause. Now we will move into several remarks from several members who were key and instrumental to today's event. Our first speaker is going to be Mr. Paul LASETER, who is the chairman of Keep Douglasville Beautiful.
I love all the things that I have to avoid to get up here. And those members who are on the board, if you don't mind standing up for just a second or on Keep Douglasville Beautiful border, wave your hand if you're in the back, just to let everybody know. A lot of hard work went into this. I hear a lot of people talking about the design, but there's a lot more work that's going on behind the scenes. And they'll all be very happy to know that I only brought 6 pages, but you can see the font. So it's really 1 page, Julie. Just the 1 page. I promise. I promise. Well, I'll start by giving you, I'm not sure where these are supposed to go. Can you guys hear me okay? All the way in the back? All right. 2 years ago, Keep Douglasville Beautiful wanted to honor Sergeant Joshua Bowden, who was killed in Afghanistan. And we wanted to honor him initially by planting a tree. And you see over here to this side on the memorial side, that is Joshua's tree. And I hope everybody can understand that it's a difficult moment. His family happens to be here. We're very proud to have you guys here and want you to know you hold a very special place in this garden. That initiative quickly developed into something larger than just a tree planting. It was an ambitious plan to develop a garden setting to accompany Joshua's tree, expand and reinvigorate the Hunter Memorial Garden, and to introduce a significant beautification project to the city of Douglasville in keeping with the success of Freedom Island. I'd also be remiss if I didn't personally thank the Lions Club for their generous donation for the marker and the tree that you guys see here today. Envisioned as a colorful, active addition to the Douglasville landscape with broad, welcoming sidewalks, an open lawn for play and gathering, shade trees, garden beds, benches, and granite markers proudly displaying insignias of the active service branches. The space is intended to be a garden in every sense of the word. It's not a mistake that these garden plants are here. We hope to see many of them in the garden to come. We hope the Douglasville Military Honor Garden will firmly and clearly establish a lasting testament to the pride, gratitude, and respect our community has for those who served, those who continue to serve, and the families who sacrifice to support them. In raising awareness for the garden, we had the pleasure to spotlight members of the military in our community through our Veteran Spotlight on our Facebook page. And I hope you guys have a chance to see those. If you haven't had a chance to see them, there's some really remarkable stories we're happy to share, and they were happy and willing to share with us. Since the beginning of the project, we've met with businesses, civic groups, garden clubs, veterans groups, many offering support for the project. You can see some of those names listed on the back of your program. Please make sure to thank them for their support. We are fortunate to have committed city officials, many of who you got to see earlier, in our corner, and we thank them for their support. I also want to say thank you to our board, the executive director, who have diligently embraced the project for more than 2 years, and we're still talking about it in order to get this thing done. It has not burned out yet. Keep Douglasville Beautiful is now incorporated as a 501c3 to better assist in securing grant funding and the always welcome tax-deductible contribution. And even with that, we still encourage and welcome your support. This initiative is very important to us and those who we seek to honor. Please consider supporting the Honor Garden project with contributions in kind, material donations, or installation assistance. We hope our garden will be a place where Douglasville can share its appreciation for our servicemen and women in a vibrant, engaging, and exciting place. The garden will no doubt grow and change over time with new planting beds added, new connections made, and new uses imagined. But at its core, our garden will be honored. Last page, Julie. And it's short. Thank you for your support and your attendance. Thank you again.
Before I introduce the next speaker, the mayor and I were at a meeting earlier today and with the chairman of the Douglas County Development Authority Board, and he put a challenge and he came up with a good idea that I thought was very good, that in order to raise that extra money, Paul, that it should be a competition amongst the forces. So for those who are part Navy like myself, I will be committed to donating on behalf of the Navy, and we can see who will raise the most money. So for those veterans, I encourage you to donate, and we'll see who lands on top. So we'll see. All right. With that, if we could have MICAH GRAVLEY with the Georgia House of Representatives come up and speak to us.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very honored to be here. I'd like to first say thank you to Keep Douglas Beautiful for putting this together, for everyone that was involved in planning, for the sponsors that are listed, for putting together a memorial that is a living tribute, an honor garden. An honor garden that's going to grow, that's going to be beautiful for all who come to see it. So in fact, it's more than a memorial. It's a daily tribute. In 1989, I drove down this, or rode in a bus down this long driveway, set and thinking about how I was going to defeat the Douglas County Tigers in 9 innings. 27 years later, I have the great privilege of standing before you. I'm very humbled to represent a community that knows the importance, the value of our flag. So for all of you who have come out here today, thank you. I'm especially humbled by a community that will show up and pay tribute and honor to the men and women of our armed services, for those in this community who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. When I first was on that bus riding down through here, and our minds were set on the game at hand, and then we see this memorial here, this F-105, and immediately there was silence on the bus. I'd never seen that before. I didn't know what it represented. I knew it had to be some type of a memorial or tribute to a serviceman. Today, Robert Hunter, First Lieutenant Robert Hunter, I know full well the story. And today, there's another memorial, Joshua's Tree. So as we break ground on this honor garden, I'm reminded of General George Patton's quote. And as I bring my little girls here in the future, I'm going to remember his words. Let us not mourn those who were lost. Rather, let us thank God that such men lived. So, as we honored the elected officials earlier, I'm going to ask the veterans to remain seated. I'm going to ask those of you who are able to not only stand and pay tribute to our flag, to the men and women who have fought under it, who have fought and died, to preserve the freedoms, the rights, and the principles that this flag represents. I'm going to ask all of you that are able to stand, and let's honor our veterans that are here today and that those we are here to remember. If you'll do that with me. Thank you very much. In closing, I'm going to issue a challenge. And hopefully they read about it in the paper. But we're going to join that competition, and I'm going to challenge every member of the legislative delegation here in Douglas County, and we're going to contribute to the furtherance of this honor garden and to make sure that you have the funds that you need. and you've got my commitment, and I'm going to call the other 7 members of this delegation and get their commitment as well. Thank you very much.
And our final remarks will come from Councilman Mike Miller. Mike Miller is the committee chairman for our Maintenance and Sanitation Committee, which is also responsible and holds the Keep Douglasville Beautiful program, who we've continued to talk about today, have been instrumental in today's program.
When I got a call on this to ask me if I'd like to say a couple words, I was informed that I was speaking behind Paul and Micah. Paul and I go back to high school. We played soccer together, and Micah and I go back to college. Good friends. He's one of my best friends. Yeah, I just have 2. So, is this your meeting? Is this your meeting? Okay. All right. That's kind of an inside joke, but so I get behind Micah, and he very good speech, Micah. I appreciate that, and of course there's a challenge there, so that's going to wind up costing me money. But for those of you who don't know me very well, you probably don't know. Gosh. I wasn't going to do this. You don't know, I lost my father when I was very young, at age 3. And I was born kind of late in their lives. He was a World War II veteran and a Korean veteran, and served during the Vietnam War. So I was all, he was my hero. He'd retired after 28 years in the Air Force, and that's what I knew about him. There you go. But I didn't get to know very much about him. In fact, most of what I knew about him was this little airplane that once sat on his desk. I went over this I don't know how many times and dealt with this. But it was an F-105, which didn't really make that much difference to me. I was a little kid. But we moved up here when I was younger after his death, and we came to Hunter Park, where there was. Where there was an F-105.
We're going to have to sing in a minute, brother.
You are. This memorial meant a lot to me as a child. It was a play date with my dad. So, although the plane didn't move and wasn't actually alive, I thought it was as a kid. So I'd come here and enjoy the park, and enjoyed my time here. Although you can't tell it today, but I found a lot of solace here. I didn't know a short speech would take so long. But now the KDB and the City of Douglasville and many others individually and corporately have taken the challenge of expanding this park to make a beautiful garden so many other people can share in their memories. All right, I gotta pull it together. I'm sorry. You believe I do this for a living? KDB guy, everybody involved with this, you don't realize what kind of effect that you're going to have on people, families, and individuals who are who were involved with the military service. Before I got up here, I saw Josh's family, and it hurts them to be here today in their heart. But I know they support this, as do any other folks who have been involved with the military. So, to wrap things up here, we're talking with Representative Gravley before I got up here. He said, you got to have the quote in your speech. So I said, all right, well, I'm going to put a quote in there. So I found something. Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, in advising on giving a speech, on making a speech, he said to be sincere, which I think I have, maybe overly. He said you need to be brief and you need to be seated. So after I've humbled myself before you, I shall follow his directive. One last thing. Thank you for everyone who's been involved with this. I apologize about getting upset, but that is the sincerity involved with this project. Thanks. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to give some money, so you're not out of trouble.
With that, I will turn it over to the Douglas County Chamber Singers.
Column, halt. Right face. Present arms.
Retire the colors.
Column, port arms. Left face. Forward march. All right, march.
At this time, I'm going to call up Ms. Chan Weeks, Executive Director of Keep Douglasville Beautiful. And my closing remarks before she takes it over for you for the groundbreaking ceremonies are, one, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being in attendance. For those who have served and who have family members who are currently serving and have served, thank you so much for your sacrifice. As a person who has served only for 4 years, family members go through tough things when their family members are out at war. So appreciate you loaning your family to us as citizens of the United States to keep us safe and keep us protected. So with that, Chan.
Thank you, Marcia. I was trying to stay off the program tonight, but I am Chan Weeks, Executive Director of Keep Douglasville Beautiful, and we are so very honored to have you all here with us tonight. And this very special occasion for us, like Paul said, it's been 2 years that we have been working on this project, and it's great to finally be at a point where we can do a groundbreaking and share all that with you. And so just thank you for being here. Please help us spread the word. Encourage everyone that you know to get involved. If you're not already personally involved, we'd love for you to be involved as well. Somebody that didn't get mentioned earlier is Craig McManus, and Paul did mention Freedom Island and what this garden is going to be like. And Craig was our designer for Freedom Island, and he has so graciously agreed to do the landscape design for this garden as well. So we are looking forward to what he comes up with for that. We're very excited. But thank you all for being here. For our elected officials, board members, we'd love for you to join us and throw some dirt.